Fifth, coming off the disabled list.
There's a look at Felix's numbers. He does not have very good numbers against those Astros, especially in his last 4 starts with that 11.15 ERA. The Astros have gotten 29 hits off him in those 15 1/3. He's given up 6 home runs in those 4 starts. Altuve, Correa, both hitting .400 against him. It is Correa and Springer that are doing some damage, though, both with a home run apiece and 7 RBIs combined.
Well, this will be his 6th start. You see the numbers, 2-2 with a 4.73. He's given up 39 hits in those starts in just 26 2/3. He's been very hittable. He faced the Astros on opening day, and as you said, Blummer, the Astros have had a lot of success against Felix Hernandez. He's starting for the first time April 25th at Detroit when he went 2 innings, giving up 4 runs on 6 hits. He has been on the disabled list with that shoulder bursitis ever since. Surprised maybe that he was coming back tonight and picked this night to come back, given the Astros' success against Felix Hernandez over the years. But he is back, and the Astros are ready to go. And George Springer, who was hit on the hand to start yesterday's game, good to see him back in the lineup. He'll be leading it off. He's a .277 hitter, 21 home runs, and 46 runs batted in. He has hit Mariner pitching very well this season. It's outside a ball. A 78-degree evening here in Seattle. That ball is cranked to left field, going back, looking up, and he's going to make the catch right at the 376 marker. Ben Gamble had just enough room, but that ball was hit.
Astros love getting after that fastball. He got one right here in the zone. Elevated, maybe that launch angle a little bit too high off the bat, but a pretty good swing from George Springer. And if there's a positive in this out, it's the fact that he stepped in and took a decent swing.
Well, he's got 4 home runs in 7 games against the Mariners, so you see the reason for optimism right off the bat. So 1 out here in the 1st inning. That'll bring up Josh Reddick. It's in there for strike 1, and the crowd reacts. .318 hitter against the Mariners this season, .294 overall. 0-2 on the breaking ball.
Look at that breaking ball. See the location on that outside corner, just catching the edge on our MD Anderson strike zone.
0-2 pitch from Hernandez. And fouled back. Mike Zunino has a play. Thought he overran it for a moment, and there's 2 away in the 1st.
Zunino almost overran it.
Yes, he did. So here is Jose Altuve. Numbers on Jose, .322 with the 10 home runs, 34 runs batted in. Outside a ball. Jose, the native of Venezuela, the man he is facing, native Venezuelan as well. And it's been the little man that has owned that pitcher on the mound. Crazy numbers he has put together against Felix Hernandez. That ball hit to left. And that one's gone. Jose Altuve, a 1st inning home run, his 11th of the season, and the Astros jump on top 1-0.
Well, I tell you what, the only number that was missing in that column really for Jose Altuve was the home run against King Felix. He is now 14 for 27, adding a home run and another RBI to that list. But if you're looking for the pink slip, might be in Jose's locker. Man.
14 for 27. His 1st home run, his 3rd run batted in.
That was a changeup, 2 down. Might have been a little bit of a split.
Jose went and got it. And the Astros lead 1-0. Correa swing and a miss. I'm just saying, I thought I got mine, and then Altuve did him one better.
Altuve went up to Springer and told him the little man hit it.
No balls and 2 strikes. It's 11 bombs for Jose Altuve. And the number you said a moment ago, 14 for 27 in his career against Felix Hernandez. Correa is 4 for 8 in his career against Hernandez. The pitch, a little swing and a miss, and that'll retire the side. But Jose Altuve comes up with the big fly to put the Astros on top early, 1-0. As we go to the bottom of the first inning, take a look at the lineup for the Seattle Mariners. As Gene Segura will be leading off, followed by Ben Gamble. Robinson Cano is the 3-hit hitter. Nelly Cruz, Kyle Seager, and Mitch Haniger the middle third. Danny Valencia is the first baseman, bats 7th. Gerard Dyson is in center field. He bats 8th. And Mike Zunino is the catcher, and he will bat 9th. That's a lineup that will face Joe Musgrove, making his 3rd start since coming off the disabled list.
Joe had a rough time out there last time against the Boston Red Sox. Yes, he had 7 strikeouts in that ball game, but it gave up 5 earned runs. It's going to be an interesting night against a team who is swinging the bat well. Gene Segura back in that lineup. They don't hit the breaking ball well. They are hitting .215 against the breaking ball as a team, so look for Joe's curveball to be effective. But he might have to pitch a little bit backwards in order to set up that fastball that the Mariners are hitting at a .299 clip.
Faces Segura to lead it off, and it's ball 1. Segura hitting .339. 4 homers, 20 runs batted in. Just came off the disabled list. This is a Mariners team that is certainly trending up because they struggled mightily to start the season. 2-0. Seattle has won 17 of its last 25 games and over 500 for the first time this season. 2-0. Hit on the right side, long run. Reddick coming over. That will make the seats. Josh Reddick did everything he could, just could not get to it. It's 2-1.
Yeah, that was a very good effort. A little bit different than Oakland, where we were just at, where he could have run for another 500 feet. That one just sneaking past the glove, but he gets to make friends here in Seattle.
The 2-1. Good pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Downward action on that pitch. 2-2. Segura stays alive. Musgrove, 24 years old. His first 2 starts of the season came against the Seattle Mariners. Gave up 5 earned runs and 10 1/3 in those 2 starts. He went 5 1/3. He went 5 in those 2 starts. In fact, 7 of the first 10 games of the season for the Astros was against the Seattle Mariners. There's a base hit. And Segura is on with a leadoff single.
Saw good depth on a couple of fastballs previously to get the swing over the top. This one flattened out a little bit, and Gene Segura knew exactly what to do with it.
And that has been an issue for Musgrove. He's not been getting ahead in the count, but finishing hitters off. A 2-strike hit for Segura. And this will bring up Ben Gamel. Look at those numbers. 352, 3 home runs and 24 runs batted in. Strike 1.
Two good numbers, but how about the lettuce?
Even better. 14-game hitting streak. It's his second double-digit hitting streak of the season. And he has hit in 24 of his last 25 games. One and one.
He was not in the opening day lineup. Leonis Martin was in center field. Now with a little bit of shuffling going on in the outfield, and Leonis not here anymore, Ben Gamel gets the opportunity.
That one will cue foul.
Take that ball.
Had a lot of side spin, didn't it?
That was an absolutely atrocious attempt at a catch by Mike Fiers in front of the dugout.
He did clank that one.
Yep, tipped his cap to the crowd.
Astros have won 4 in a row, coming off a 4-game sweep of the Oakland Athletics. Seattle Mariners, they started this homestand with a 4-game sweep of Detroit. There's a swing and a miss. And Gamel goes down swinging.
It's that curveball we're talking about. The whiff percentage against that breaking ball in his last 6 starts has actually almost gone up 30%. So getting a little bit better command and a little bit better action on it gets him the strikeout.
Facing a tough customer here who comes in a hot hitter, Robinson Cano.
You could have said that for the last 10 years. This guy's pretty good.
Drove in 6 runs yesterday against Detroit. You know what I was surprised about? Not that he drove in 6 runs, but that was a career high.
Yeah.
He had a 3-run homer, 2-run homer, a yank foul.
Oh. Are you kidding me? It was Kim right through the wickets. It's early. A couple of shadows out there makes it tough to pick up the spin sometimes.
But you got to make that play.
Yeah, she's not good at billiards.
In the big leagues.
It's all right. It's early. Chin up.
She's okay. Good body language.
Yeah, she didn't seem to take it too hard.
Exactly. Cano cranks that one to center. Springer goes back and makes the play. Boy, George Springer just made that look a lot easier than it was.
He's got very good footwork for me, especially out there in center field. That natural position for him. Watch him. You can see him open up the hips, turn to the left. But the best thing about it is he has such good body control that he can keep his eye on the ball.
So 2 away in the first inning. Segura led it off with a single. He's at first base. For Nelson Cruz, the designated hitter. When you look at the offensive numbers up and down for this Seattle Mariners team, you're surprised that they had struggled as bad as they did to start the season. They really caught fire basically in the last month. Over 500, as I said, for the first time this year. 38 and 37.
Might have been a weather issue. We were up here early in April. It was freezing.
Oh and 1. Yeah, and it's a gorgeous day today. And the fans, it's a little different when the sun comes out here in Seattle.
Man.
It gets warm. Boys, they absolutely, they take advantage of those days. Let's just say that.
Yeah, the external population grows tenfold.
0 and 2.
Tell you what, that'll be nice if Joe's able to establish that inside corner and maybe get some calls. That one right on that edge. Crew's not happy about it, but that's a good pitch.
No balls and 2 strikes. Bregman takes the short route, and that'll retire the side. 1-0 Astros on top.
In Seattle. Vote today, vote tomorrow, vote Astros for your 2017 All-Stars with the Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot. Vote at astros.com/vote. Catch all of the excitement of the 88th MLB All-Star Game presented by MasterCard July 11th live on Fox. The Astros have taken 5 out of 7 from the Mariners, but this time around the Mariners are playing much better than they were the first 2 times that they saw the Astros. And A.J. Hinch said before the game, being a Houston Astro means that you're wearing a target on your back. They have been all season long being the best team in baseball, and he said that they're going to get everybody's best. He's expecting that from the Mariners, but he said this is one of those teams that's going to do all the little things in order to beat us. We have to be ready. Kevin.
Julia, this is the first time in franchise history, and there's a lot of these, but this is the first time in franchise history that the Astros have been the first major league team to 50 wins. They are 50 and 24. Brian McCann swing and a miss. Astros lead at 1-0 on a Jose Altuve solo home run in the first inning. 7-time All-Star Brian McCann, 274 the numbers. 10 homers, 37 runs batted in. 2-2. Swing and a miss. 1 out here in the second inning.
Good curveball. We talked about how pitchers will elevate and then try and throw something down in the zone. King Felix, accustomed to that setup. The fastball up. Almost got the call at the top part of the zone, but came back with a nice breaking ball to get the punch out of Brian McCann.
Designated hitter is Carlos Beltran. 1-0. Ten home runs, 32 runs batted in for Beltran. Well, the folks in yellow, you got Keuchel's corner. Is the King's Court here for Felix Hernandez. It's been a while since they've had anything to cheer about as far as the man on the mound. First start since April 25th. 2-1. Two balls and two strikes.
I thought all those Ks were because you were here.
How do you know they're not?
Well, you just told me there was a King's Court. I thought the Ks were up for Kevin.
I think it's Felix Hernandez. I'm pretty sure.
You're kind of a big deal.
Look at the numbers. You look. 436, the numbers. And this one ripped down the line. That's a fair ball. Carlos Beltran is going to have a double. As he leads off, make it a one-out double here in the second inning.
Good piece of hitting by the 40-year-old, turning on that. 2 strikes. You see King Felix missing his spot by a good 7 or 8 inches out over the middle part of the plate. Quick enough to get it down that right field line, put himself in scoring position for Marwin Gonzalez.
Now Beltran 8 for 17 in his career against Felix Hernandez after that hit. Marwin hitting .312. Hit a 3-run home run yesterday, tied a career high with his 13th homer of the year. Astros put an 8 spot on the board yesterday in Oakland, led that game 10-0, ended up winning 12-9. Ball 1. Say that he has improved dramatically in the OPS, leading the Astros with that .990 OPS.
You know what's great about that number for me is there's some other guys on there that may have had rough years last year and now they're back up to where they're normally at. Marwin had a good year last year. He is just playing that much better this season. That's what I like, is he's consistently improving.
He absolutely crushed that ball yesterday in Oakland. Astros jumped all over Jesse Hahn. It was Hahn's pitch that hit George Springer to lead the game off. And the Astros would end up scoring 2 runs on no hits in the first inning. They come back and put an 8 spot on the board in the second inning.
You ask and you shall receive. Leaning back on Jesse Hahn. Margot knew it. Just another Astro with double-digit home runs.
Facing Felix Hernandez. And quickly, Mike Zunino popped up and headed out to the mound for a word with King Felix.
This will be the Beltran conversation. Beltran, known for stealing signs. The reputation is borderline out of control because every time he's on second base, there's a guaranteed at least one meeting between the pitcher and catcher to go over the signs.
When Zunino made no bones about it, he jumped right back up and ran out there to have a word. This one gets away from Zunino, and Beltran will move to third base with just 1 out. Good heads-up base running there. That's a tough read when that ball, I would think, not knowing exactly how far away it gets from Zunino.
Salty veteran anticipating ball and dirt. A lot of times, you know, you can steal the sign, give it to the hitter, but as a base runner also, you can anticipate ball in the dirt if you know it's going to be an off-speed pitch. You see Carlos, good recognition. Taking a chance, making it.
So now runners on the corners for Yuli Gurriel. Astros leading 1-0. We're in the top of the second inning. Tonight, the first of a 3-game series here in Seattle. The time was called. The bat boy came sprinting out as Felix Hernandez was going into his windup. The bat boy came sprinting out of the Astros dugout, and the second base umpire is the one who called time. Bat boys having a kangaroo court.
They do now. Ante up.
Todd Tichenor's behind the plate tonight. He calls strike one. He can live there.
A nasty slider down and away.
Marwin walked. He's at first base. They'll keep him close. The 0-1 to Yuli. 0-2.
King Felix brought the paintbrush against Yuli.
The 0-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. 2 outs.
A couple of breaking balls in this inning for Felix with the curveball. Set up by a couple of nasty pitches down and away.
So now there's 2 outs with runners on the corners. Carlos Beltran had a 1-out double. He's at third. Marwin walked. And here's Alex Bregman. .251 season batting average. Hitting .280 against the Mariners. That one slapped to right. And right in the tracks of Mitch Haniger. That'll retire the side. The Astros lead 2.
Play presented by Toyota. We're looking at the Astros starters in that 4-game road sweep over the A's. Pretty impressive performance by everyone that took the mound in this one. Started with Brad Peacock. You're seeing Francis Martes, Mike Fiers, David Paulino. 2 of those guys rookies and came up big. You see the numbers there. They only allowed 1 home run to the A's in that 4-game set. And that was an A's team that had just swept the Yankees. We're feeling really good coming in, and it's a home run hitting team. AJ Hinch saying, I'm very impressed, especially with the 2 young guys who are still continuing to learn and feel their way through the big leagues. They put up a solid performance in that series, guys.
Here's Kyle Seager. It's hard to sweep a team in 4 games. We all know that, but you think back about it. The A's swept the Yankees in a 4-game set. Then the Astros went right in and swept the A's in a 4-game series. Meanwhile, here in Seattle, the Mariners were sweeping the Detroit Tigers in a 4-game set.
So you know what that means. The Astros are going to follow that up with their own sweep.
There you go. They're the best road team, the best team in baseball, but certainly the best road team in baseball.
There's a lot of expectation put on these Seattle Mariners coming into this season. It was supposed to be a 3-team race: Rangers, Mariners, Astros. Astros completely running away with it early on, burying some AL West teams along the way.
That one fouled back. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Astros at 50-24. Going into play 12.5 games, the lead on the Seattle Mariners. Angels and Rangers are a half game back of that. Both 13 games back. That one misses. Seager hitting .253, 7 home runs, 42 runs batted in. He has struggled on this homestand. One of the few Mariners that has struggled on this homestand. It is a gorgeous night here in Seattle. It's a beautiful ballpark.
First time here?
First time, yeah, first time in Safeco Field.
Love playing here, but now getting to sit in these beautiful seats we're in right now, it's even that much prettier.
Good to have you with us here tonight on Root Sports. Kevin Eschenfelder, Jeff Blum with you upstairs. Julia Morales down next to the dugout. Todd Callis with the night off again. He's taking the road trip off. He'll be back with you as the Astros come back home on Tuesday night. He will be refreshed. The batteries will be recharged and ready to go. It'll be 3 against the A's coming up when the Astros return home. A's and Yankees starting on Tuesday. There's a base hit. Second hit of the game for the Mariners.
Both hits for the Mariners coming on 2 strikes also.
For the second straight inning, the leadoff man is on.
Hanging slider on the outside corner. Good piece of hitting by Kyle Seager.
.320 average in 32 games for Mitch Haniger. Former Arizona Diamondback. Bats with a man at first and nobody out here in the second inning. Astros with a run on 2 hits. Mariners no runs on 2 hits. That's a good pitch. It's 0-2. Season started with a 4-game series as the Mariners came to Minute Maid Park. able to hold up. It's 1-2.
Good call. Very close, but didn't go.
Reddick coming over, sliding, and makes the catch.
What a play.
It was in foul territory, and Josh Reddick with the wall coming on, making the sliding grab.
Julie was talking about the exploits he's had at the plate, but he's also brought his glove with him here over to Houston. Great play. And again, remember, Josh was with the Oakland A's, so he knows this Safeco Field pretty well. But again, a huge difference going from Oakland to here. Foul territory comes out a little bit quicker here in Seattle.
The defense has been phenomenal here on this road trip. It's been good all season long, but my goodness. Remember, they cut down a run the second game of the series in Oakland with George Springer running the ball down in the gap, making a relay throw to Correa, and then throwing the base runner out at the plate. Plays like that with Danny Valencia.
It's a pretty good pitch to start off. Danny Valencia. There's plenty of baseball in the zone. Not only did he fool the hitter, he fooled the umpire.
And a base hit up the middle. Singer bluffed that he was going to go to third. Danny Valencia now on first base with a one-out single. Runners at first and second for Gerard Dyson.
Well, that first pitch not getting called on the breaking ball forces Joe Musgrove to go to a fastball to try and get back in the count. Danny Valencia, even though he breaks his bat, sneaks it up the middle.
Dyson at 249, 4 home runs, 20 runs batted in. In that 4-game series against Detroit, the Mariners, they saw Justin Verlander take a perfect game into the 5th inning. Gerard Dyson, that ball ripped down the right field side. 0-1. Gerard Dyson dropped down a drag bunt to end the perfect game. And a man who took a perfect game into the 5th inning did not finish the inning. It was just the start of things to come. Mariners ended up winning that game, coming from 4 runs down to win that game 7-5.
Baseball can be a fickle game. I actually went over and asked Steve Sparks about that. Pitched in the big leagues for a long time. Asked him if he had a perfect game going, how he would feel about that. He said, first of all, I'd be shocked I was that deep in a game with a perfect game. Second of all, he wouldn't be upset. He felt that part of the Gerard Dyson's game is to get down that bunt. 4-run lead in the 6th.
The 0-2 to Dyson. McCann keeps it out in front. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fifth game of a 7-game road trip. Two and two. Kyle Seager led off this second inning with a single, and after Mitch Haniger fouled out to right field, an outstanding play by Josh Reddick. Danny Valencia followed up with a single. He had runners at first and second and 1 out. And time is called. Talk it over again. Joe last pitched on Sunday. That was against the Red Sox. He gave up 5 earned runs in 5 2/3. Probably pitched better than the line score. Gave up a couple of home runs in that game. Xander Bogaerts took him deep twice.
Started to fade late in that game, leaving a couple of runners on.
Yeah, he left the game. There was 2 on, and both of them ended up scoring. They belonged to him. 3 balls and 2 strikes after Dyson had been up 0-2 in the count, or behind 0-2 in the count.
A lot of pitches thrown early on by Joe Musgrove.
Crank to right, Reddick going back off the wall. He'll play it in. 1 run will score, and the Mariners tie it.
Good piece of hitting in a 3-2 count. See it and hit it. Especially down and in. Joe Musgrove knew he missed a location on that one.
Ninth double of the season for Dyson. Seager scores, and now Valencia is at third base after the double. Runners at second and third with 1 out. Here's a number 9 hitter. This is Mike Zunino, the catcher. Zunino's got 9 home runs, 30 runs batted in. Astros bring the infield in. Beat him upstairs. It's 1-1. Zunino just a 247 hitter. He is hitting .311 over the last 30 games or so. 339 here in June. A swing and a miss.
Tell you what, Joe got away with a couple of fastballs that were hittable with runners in scoring position. Be nice to see him put Zunino away with something nasty down and away. Or he might just keep coming after him with the fastball, considering he hasn't caught up to one yet. Tough to sneak 3 pitches past a big league hitter.
He got him swinging.
Or I should say 3 of the same pitches past a big league hitter. Usually that third pitch, the guy can key on it a little bit, but you can see that Zunino expanding the zone on that outside corner.
Big punch out there, but no time to relax because they turn it over to the top of the order as Gene Segura, who singled in the first inning. .342 the average after that single for Segura. There's a swing and a miss. This is the 46th game of the season for Segura. We talked about it. Spent time on the disabled list. Just came off a couple of days ago. Hurt an ankle in a slide against the Colorado Rockies back in early June. But those 64 hits, that is the most by a Seattle Mariner since Ichiro's historic season in 2001 at this point. 45 games in, Ichiro had a lot more, but still gives you an idea just how good Gene Segura has been. This is a ground ball. Correa has to come on, makes the play, and that'll retire the side. But the Mariners tie it.
We're tied up 1 apiece between Astros and Mariners, and our league leaders are going to be presented by Houston Methodist. There you get a look at road batting average this season. Jose Altuve clearly in the lead, as he has been the last couple of years. Daniel Murphy, Corey Dickerson, hey, Gene Segura on that list also. We've got both those guys have base hits in this ballpark this evening. Jose's going just a little bit further than Gene Segura's.
And a little more valuable. As the Astros on the board, we are tied at 1. George Springer, top of the order, leads off here in the 3rd. He had one that took Ben Gamble all the way to the wall. George has 4 home runs in 7 games this year against the Seattle Mariners. 3 of those were leadoff homers. One right out in front. That's going to be trouble. Safe. Pulled him off the bag, but that should be ruled a base hit. And it is.
Talk about the pop. George still has some wheels.
Well, he hit one 375 feet a minute ago and got nothing out of it.
He learned his lesson. Just a little nubber out in front. See Valencia coming off the bag to knock that down on our Mattress Firm Supermo. Good thing he did. George would have been off to the races.
It's inside a ball. This is one of the more unique vantage points you will have in baseball, because right at this point right now, which is now just right at 8 o'clock here in the Pacific time zone, the sun bounces off one of these beautiful glass buildings, mirrored glass buildings in downtown Seattle to our left.
My retina is being burnt.
Blinding. There's the 3, 6, 1 double play.
Got Altuve coming up. We got time to look at our forward spray chart. Career hits versus King Felix. It is updated. It was 8 early on before the game started. Now it is 9 to left field, one of those being a home run, the only home run against King Felix. But great numbers. You can see that he recognizes pitches very well. Actually looks like he's trying to turn and burn a little bit by yanking those baseballs into left field.
14th hit and 27 at bats against Felix Hernandez. The fellow's Venezuelan, Jose Altuve. And fouled back, make the seats.
Something happened to Altuve's neck.
Yeah, I think so too after that swing. Had a day off yesterday. The Astros still able to get a win.
May have tweaked his keuchel.
Did it on the first swing. 0-2. Stays alive.
Well, I tell you what, if he doesn't get a hit, you know something is definitely wrong with Jose Altuve.
Solo home run in the first inning, as the Astros and the Mariners tied at 1. One ball and 2 strikes. Jose just went over the 900 game plateau in his career. And when you put his numbers against some of the greats in baseball, 900 games in, his are better. Skies this one to center, and Gerard Dyson there to make the catch. 1-1 after 2.5. for the best neighbors ever, presented by Neighbors Emergency Center. These two guys, look at the numbers, whether it's 1 or 1A as far as the catcher is concerned, or DH. Tonight it's Beltrán who is DH, and Evan Gattis and Brian McCann.
They're more than neighbors. They're long-lost twin brothers. Doing some good work behind home plate with those offensive numbers. 14 bombs. Also like the RBI and run production for these two also. You know what else is great is you haven't heard McCann complain about where he's hitting in the order, and you haven't heard Evan Gattis complaining about playing or not playing. A.J. Hinch trying to do his best to get both those guys in there and get them ABs. Gattis led the team last year with 32 bombs.
Gamble rifles that one to center field. Ben Gamble extends his hitting streak to 15 games. Third straight inning in which the Seattle Mariners have a leadoff single.
I'll tell you what, in order to get those hitting streaks and those good numbers going for Gamble, it doesn't hurt that he's hitting in front of this guy.
Robbie Cano. If he took all his at-bats against Astros pitching, they wouldn't wait 5 years to put him in the Hall of Fame. He's had quite a career against Houston. Strike one. .336 career hitter against the Astros. A big sample size, nearly 300 career at bats. .75 career games. Jose Altuve homered in the first inning. Got the Astros on the board. Rod Dyson with an RBI double in the second for the Seattle Mariners. We're tied at 1. Oh, 2 got him swinging.
Nasty. Got to bring a little bit of the funk if you're going to get these guys out, especially Cano. Like a little bit of a cut fastball on that inside corner.
Nelson Cruz, who grounded out and grounded into a fielder's choice to end the first inning. He bats 0 for 1. Designated hitter tonight for Nelly Cruz, 291 hitter. Got up there in a hurry. 46 pitches for Joe Musgrove. 35 strikes, 11 balls. In the bottom of the third inning. Keep Gamble close. Gamble's only stolen a couple of bases. He's 2 for 2 in the stolen base category. Leads away from first base.
That tells me that he was only 100% sure that he was going to get that bag because of the guys hitting behind him. You get thrown out with a Nelson Cruz or a Robinson Cano at the plate, you're going to get a talking to. This guy can drive you in from anywhere.
Two and 1.
Joe did a good job in the first AB against Nelson Cruz. Fastball inside and then a little bit of a slider away, and he rolled it over to third base. Saw the first pitch fastball to get ahead 0-1, but he's quickly fallen behind 2-1.
That's up the middle. Correa can't get to that one, and it's a single into center field. Gamble will hold up at second base, and the Mariners have runners at first and second.
Join the Astros Wednesday, June 28th for Game of Thrones night. With a special Game of Thrones ticket, fans will receive an exclusive Chris the Dragon Davinsky bobblehead and have the opportunity to participate in a pregame parade around the warning track. To buy your Game of Thrones night ticket, visit astros.com/Game of Thrones. And by the way, that bobblehead is legit. We got to see one of those in the booth last homestand. It is awesome.
They just fly it in, land on the.
Almost could. It's big enough.
6th hit of the night for the Seattle Mariners, and we're just in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Runners at first and second. See Kyle Seager, who singled and scored the Mariners' run. That was in the 2nd inning. Mariners have had leadoff singles in each of these 3 innings.
Good breaking ball early in the count.
A nice job working ahead. It's been a matter, as you saw that, 11 of 14.
Could have been
First
12
pitch
of
strikes.
14 if he got a call on a breaking ball earlier.
Just being able to finish hitters off. And that's going to load the bases.
There's been a couple of barrels squared up in this game. That one squared up Kyle Seager right in that right knee. Calf. But we saw him punch out Robinson Cano with that little cut fastball. Was a good pitch. This one looked like he tried to do a similar thing, going to that inside corner with the cut fastball, just yanked it. That thing made a beeline for Kyle Seager.
Well, now the bases are loaded for Mitch Haniger. 1 out here in the 3rd inning. Haniger fouled out on an outstanding play by Josh Reddick. That was back in the 2nd inning. We're in the 3rd. Ball 1. Mariners with their longest winning streak of the season. They come in with a 5-game winning streak. Astros fresh off of taking 4 in a row from the Oakland Athletics in Oakland. Just making sure everybody's on the same page.
Again.
That sweep of the A's was the 7th sweep for the Astros this season. And of the 23 series they've played, they've won 16 of them, split 1. 16-6-1 is their series record. One ball and 1 strike. Gamble singled, he's at 3rd. Nelson Cruz singled, he's at 2nd, and Kyle Seager was hit by a pitch. Musgrove trying to work his way out of a jam here in the 3rd. There's a base hit to center. 1 run scores. They will hold Nelson Cruz at 3rd base. Well, Haniger with his 22nd run batted into the season. Mariners lead 2-1. Bases stay loaded with 1 out.
An off-speed pitch that Haniger stayed through, hitting that one back up the middle. Tell you what, if he's able to get out of this with a ground ball from Valencia, he'll be thankful that Nelson Cruz didn't get a good jump off second base.
He must have got a terrible jump, because I thought for sure Nelly Cruz would be able to score from second base. The ball kind of died a little bit in the outfield. That one hit on the ground into left field. Cruz scores, throw to the plate, nowhere close. And the Mariners lead it 4-1.
They're getting after Joe Musgrove right now. Got the ground ball he wanted, just not located where he wanted it, right at somebody. That one sneaking into left field. It's going to bring out Brent Strom. Only out in the inning was a Robinson Cano punch out. But what you're trying to do right here, if you're Brent Strom, is calm down Joe Musgrove and explain to him he needs to get out of this thing and leave it right where it's at. Stop the bleeding.
3 runs in the inning. The Mariners have 2 on and still just 1 out. Musgrove has yet to win since coming off the disabled list. His 13th start, the 24-year-old. Doesn't get any easier here. Here's Gerard Dyson. Dyson had the RBI double back in the second inning. He drove in the Mariners' first run. 1-0. Dyson, the former Kansas City Royal. So the corners play in. One and one.
Good changeup to get back in the count. Dyson's going to be a tough guy to double up. But you got a pretty good idea after that first AB that Gerard Dyson is going to be aggressive on the fastball.
Foul back. It's 1-2. Three innings, 3 leadoff singles for the Seattle Mariners. Scored 3 runs on 4 hits here in this, the 3rd inning. Haniger leads away from second base. Valencia's at first. The 1-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
On the season, we've seen Joe use that cutter right around 3% of the time. That last start out against Boston, we saw it at 8%, but we've seen a couple more in this start against left-handed hitters.
2-2. 3 balls and 2 strikes. This will be the 61st pitch of the night for Joe Musgrove. Call strike 3. That is a big punch out for Joe Musgrove.
Tricked him. See, Gerard Dyson might have been sitting on something off speed. Beat him with the fastball.
Was well received by Brian McCann as well. There's a number 9 hitter, Mike Zunino. Musgrove trying to leave it right here. Crank to left. A 3-run home run, and the Mariners lead it 7-1.
Zunino's an all or nothing type guy. He got all that one.
A 6-run third.
That one tailed right back into the swing of Zunino.
His 10th home run of the season. Gene Segura, the 9th man to bat in the inning. Zunino 1 for 2. Single in the first inning. Grounded to short in the second. Cute on the right side, and that will retire the side. But the Mariners put a 6th spot on the board in the third and lead 7-1. Care and look at what this guy has been able to do. Carlos Correa, slugging percentage leading all shortstops in slugging percentage, tied for first in home runs with those 14. Leads the way in RBIs, runs scored, and second in extra base hits. As our building champions, presented by Advocare. Guess who leads off here in the 4th inning? Mariners put a 6th spot on the board in the third. They lead 7-1. Off the plate, 1-0. Carlos struck out in the first inning. 302 hitter, 14 home runs. 1-1. That one hit to right. It'll dump in for a base hit. Julia, what do you have?
Hey, Kevin. Nothing beats dollar hot dogs at a baseball game. With the $1 Dog Pack, you will receive tickets to 5 Wednesday night home games featuring the fan favorite special, $1 hot dogs. Visit Astros.com/mini plans to purchase your ticket package today.
Well, Carlos Correa reaches base for the 12th consecutive game. He is on with a leadoff single here in the 4th. Can fouls that one back.
It also gets Correa back to 500 average against King Felix.
Felix Hernandez getting his first start since the end of April when he went on the disabled list. Brian McCann, the 7-time All-Star. To see one more notch on his belt. See him in Miami behind the plate. The 45th pitch of the night for Felix Hernandez. Good pitch, struck him out. 1 away. That's a 4th strikeout of the night for Felix. Carlos Beltran, he doubled back in the 2nd inning. Made it to 3rd, but he was stranded there. Seems like every time we turn around, Carlos is passing another Hall of Famer on one list or another. Tied Cal Ripken Jr. with a career home run mark.
Throw the ball back, Danny. Come on. What was that?
No, I'm wondering if they're.
Sorry. Should be yelling. I should get in the talk back on that one instead of exposing fans to that.
The 1-0. Ball to the strike.
Good running fastball. Felix Hernandez, I remember facing him as a rookie when he came up, throwing in the mid to upper 90s. Made that changeup he has that much better. Now pitching a little bit differently when he's averaging around 90 to 92 on that fastball.
One ripped foul.
Second chance didn't go so well for Kim. Tell you what, the exit velocity on that was pretty extreme, though. I give her a little credit for even trying to get in front.
Give her a lot of credit for smarts of just waiting until that ball died in the grass before she went and picked it up.
It's a Yogi Berra, or no, Bob Uecker. Isn't that how he said to pick up a knuckleball? Wait till it stops and then pick it up?
Wait till it stops rolling. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Astros have had great success against Felix Hernandez. We talked about just the raw numbers. Last 4 starts, 0-4 with an 11.15 ERA against Houston. In 2015, on June 12th, in a game at Minute Maid Park, that was the game when he retired 1 batter and gave up 8 runs on 5 hits. Jumped all over him in the 1st inning. 3-2. His 13th career start against the Astros. 3-6 with a 4.25 ERA.
I like where your mind's at. You're going Andy Dufresne on us, nurturing the hope that there is hope for the Astros, even with that 7-1 deficit. We've seen them come back in this ballpark. We've also seen them put up big numbers against King Felix. They just need to start chipping away and keep the Mariners where they're at with those 7 runs and allow enough time for the Houston Astros offense to figure it out and get going.
Joe Musgrove trying to figure it out as well. He would love to have that pitch back when Mike Zunino, the 9-hole hitter, hit a 3-run home run with 2 outs. Oh, look out! I think that got somebody in the Mariners dugout.
Yeah, it did.
Oh, it was Casey Cantel. He's all right. I'm not sure if Casey got hit or he just moved back real fast and fell.
Kind of looks like he's pointing to his left elbow.
I think he just fell.
He just hopes that doesn't ruin his golf game.
He does a lot of things that are funny, but that one wasn't funny because that ball got in there.
Well, only he could turn a possible dangerous situation into a good time.
The 3-2. Watch this.
Coming in hot. That is getting the head out. Oh, he went down in a heap.
Yeah, I have a little better angle than you, and he went down, moving back from the baseball, and then he fell. I'm good.
He's okay.
I'm good. Bad boy's got to bring some new baseballs out. Carlos Beltran is saying it's Carlos Beltran foul ball night here at the ballpark. This will be the 8th pitch, make it 9th pitch. Round to Cano. They started the runner Correa, so he's able to get into second base, so a runner in scoring position for Marwin Gonzalez. So Marwin walked in the second. There's the King's Court. There's a rainbow jersey that jumped in there as well.
Bought those tickets online.
What is wrong with this picture?
Which one of us? We found Waldo.
Doesn't belong. 1 ball and no strikes. Marwin went 3 for 9 in that series against the A's. Marwin hits this one into center field. This will score a run, and the Astros on the board again at 7-2. Carlos Correa come around to score on the RBI single by Marwin Gonzalez.
Sounded like that bat died a hero. Knocking an RBI for Marwin Gonzalez. Just keep pecking away. If the Astros go out there and have quality ABs, they can fight themselves back into this ball game. We've seen the offense do it before, and that's how you do it. You take advantage of opportunities.
So now it's 7-2. Oh, right off the end of the bat. Really out in front of that one. Really struck out in the second inning. Mariners with a 6-run third inning, leading at 7-2.
It's amazing. Yuli Gurriel is a hack monster, seeing right around 3.1 pitches per AB. What do you think his game plan is when he gets in the box? Swing.
Swing. Swings and misses there. That'll retire the side. Astros get another one though. 7-2 Seattle.
Sports SW, so you can vote in our Chevy Stroh poll. Our question today, as we are in Seattle and Emerald City, what's your favorite destination in Seattle? For those who have come or those who want to go, what do you want to visit? Space Needle, Pike Place Market, or Mount Rainier? Guys,
I guess the gum wall didn't make the list.
Thank goodness. That gum wall is one of the nastiest things I've ever seen.
It's art.
It is not art.
It is pretty disgusting.
Dude, I should post a picture I took there last year. The look on my face says it all.
Ben Gamel singled and scored. Over on that one, foul. Singled and scored in the third inning.
You got to do some sightseeing. I went down to the fish market today.
Took advantage of that situation.
Oh, man, I bought some Copper River salmon. It's on its way to Houston, Texas right now.
I like the way you worked it, too.
No diggity.
That's right. 2 balls and 1 strike. Beautiful city. This is the time of year to come here. Absolutely gorgeous day. Low humidity. Temperatures in the upper 70s today, and trust me, it was a call for a lot of happiness here in Seattle.
A lot of patios we didn't see in April opened wide up today. It's going to be warmer the next 2 days also.
It's supposed to be, what, 80 degrees tomorrow?
Yeah.
Hits that one deep to left center field, and it's gone. 4th home run of the season for Ben Gamel. And the Mariners extend their lead to 8-2.
The Mariners have led off every inning against Joe Musgrove with a hit. 3 of the 4 innings have ended up scoring. This one on a home run off the bat of Ben Gamel, who's been swinging the bat extremely well. Just a tough location when you get a guy that's swinging the bat well and you leave a fastball elevated up out over the plate. Bad things are going to happen.
Got in a hitter's count, was able to hit his 4th home run of the year. Here's Robinson Cano. The real backbreaker to me, though, and by no means is this game over with, and if anybody's watching Astros baseball, they know that you don't turn it off because they keep playing. And I mean, keep playing. But the one that was really tough was Mike Zunino's 3-run home run with 2 outs.
I agree. He's a strikeout candidate. Against the Astros, he strikes out 37.5% of the time. Hitting a .174 coming into this game. But that pitch he got a hold of, that was a big one. You're right.
Well, you had 2 outs. You're facing the number 9 hitter in the order. That was your opportunity to limit damage. Or at least Joe Musgrove's opportunity to do so. Starting pitching has really been good here on this road trip. Cano fouls that one back. And even when it wasn't spectacular, it was good. And I mean by Mike Fiers, because the other day in Oakland, I mean, Fiers battled through. We've seen him much sharper here over the last few games than he was last time out. But showed some veteran moxie, made pitches when he needed to, limited damage.
Well, you know, you hear the NFL quarterback, we need a guy to manage the game. Sometimes when you're getting roughed up a little bit, like we saw Fiers really battling to get through that game, that's what in baseball we call managing a game. He just managed to get through it. Didn't have his A+ stuff, wasn't feeling absolutely perfect, yet went out there long enough to give the Astros a quality start.
You know, Peacock started the opener in Oakland. Francis Martez, all 4 starting pitchers got wins in Oakland. Lance McCullers is scheduled to come off the disabled list tomorrow. Canoa's wearing out that screen in front of the Mariners dugout on the first base side.
Well, between Beltran and Cano, I'd be a little concerned in that Mariner dugout.
One ball and 2 strikes. Uli Gurriel. They'll flip it for the 3-1 put out. There's 1 out here in the 4th inning.
This might be a situation. There is going to be a little bit of movement out there in that Astros bullpen. Ramin Gudwan is here in place of Dion Diaz, who blew up yesterday. But this might be a situation where AJ is just saying, hey, Joe, my bullpen is beat.
Yeah.
I know you're taking a beating, but you got to go out there and give me a couple of more innings if you can.
Dion Diaz, after a couple of rough outings in the Oakland series, sent to Fresno, and we said Gudwan has been called back up, his 2nd stint with the Astros this season. Left-hander with an electric arm. Oh, 0-2. Hit to Correa. Will spin and throw him out. There's 2 outs. You know, all these pitchers too that have pitched in this road trip, all guys that have been acquired by trade. Talked about Peacock coming over from the A's. Francis Martez from the Marlins. David Paulino from Detroit. Of course, Mike Fiers coming over from Milwaukee. Joe Musgrove, he came in that deal that Brandon Lyon, David Carpenter, and Jay Happ. That was in July of 2011. It was a 9-player trade. You know, Joe Musgrove was only at 18 years old when he was traded over, just like David Paulino. That ball crushed to right. Reddick will turn. Watch it go. 2nd home run of the inning. Kyle Seager makes it 9-2.
I'm going to apologize right now, but that ball was crushed.
Another 2-out home run.
Falls under the category of 2-out RBIs, but wow.
Mitch Haniger 1 for 2. RBI single and scored a run in the 3rd inning. Well played, young man. .323 hitter for Haniger. Get a chance for the smoke from the fireworks to get out of here before the 2nd home run. What was the story? It was Mark Portugal was pitching in Cincinnati. Art House sent, he gave up 3 straight home runs, and Art House sent the pitching coach out there. And Art was the manager of the Astros. Here's the 3-1. He walked him. So he saw the conversation, and I think it may have been Bob Cluck. I'm not exactly sure who the pitching coach was at the time. Saw the conversation, and everybody started laughing, and so he gets back, and Art House telling me the story. He said, what's so funny? What are y'all laughing at? And I said, well, Portugal said, what are you doing out here? And I said, well, they sent me out here to give them time to reload the fireworks.
Got to reload the cannon.
Here's Danny Valencia, 2 for 2, 2 singles, one of which scored 2. There's 2 outs here in the 4th inning. Mariners with a run in the 2nd, 6 in the 3rd, and 2 more here in the 4th. Good crowd here tonight, too. Felix making his return was a big deal. Base hit to left. That is the 12th hit of the night, and A.J. Hinch has seen enough. They'll take a break. Gudwan comes on. 9-2 Mariners.
For the Mariners, 2 for the Astros. Come out to the ballpark on June 29th through July 2nd as the Astros celebrate Play Ball Weekend. 10,000 fans at Sunday's game will receive a play ball and bat set presented by Chevrolet as they exit the stadium. For more information, visit playball.org.
A new pitcher for the Astros, the tall left-hander Ramin Gudwan.
Saw Ramin earlier on in the season out there in Kansas City. Pretty good arm. We saw him also pitch pretty well in spring training. Got him noticed, especially having a good left arm. The velocity is good. Pretty good slider, occasional changeup. But again, the issue is being able to locate. Some of these young kids with electric stuff have a tendency to throw more often than pitch. But when they learn how to pitch with that electricity, they can turn that corner and be very valuable.
Faces the left-hander Gerard Dyson here in the 4th inning. Strike 1. It's his second stint in the majors. 1 for 2 for Gerard Dyson. He was up in that Minnesota. He pitched in that Minnesota series when the Astros had those crazy series in Minnesota after, that was right at Memorial Day.
Let's hope they brought the bats from that series.
Tell you this, an 11-run inning will get you right back in this thing.
You ain't lying. Been there, done that. Do it again.
Musgrove allows 9 runs on 12 hits. 2 base runners on base right now belong to him. 3 hits in the second, 5 in the third, 3 more here in the fourth. One ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. He got him. Tires the side. And the M's put 2 more on the board, lead 9-2. West, yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. And by Jack in the Box, come try the sweet or spicy barbecue bacon cheeseburger combo, $4.99. Limited time only. See those rainbows right there? The Astros will be wearing those tomorrow night on a throwback Saturday night.
How do we get a suit made like that?
Like, oh, man.
You didn't sound too excited about that. I thought for sure you'd be all in.
Oh, I'd be good.
We can rock those on throwbacks.
I have a feeling we probably should have started planning a little further ahead.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to find the material up here in the Great Northwest, huh?
Felix Hernandez working into Bregman to lead off here in the 5th inning. Felix Hernandez working the first time since April 25th. Bregman hits that one to center field. Dyson going back, and that one is gone to dead center field. Alex Bregman, number 8, to lead off here in the 5th inning.
Matching leadoff home runs. That was a bomb to center field. They moved the fences in a little bit here from gap to gap, and they're in center field, but Alex Bregman leaving no doubt in center field with the hanging breaking ball.
You knew he hit it, too.
Felix knew he hit it.
Out of the top of the order, George Springer.
Estimated 426 on that bomb.
Springer led this game off with a ball that was hit to the wall of the power alley in left center field. Bregman looking out there saying that was a long way.
Might be his best bolt.
He didn't hit one until the series in New York. Remember that? It was a grand slam. Swing and a miss. One out for Josh Reddick.
That changeup from Felix, a lot of confidence in it. Bottom drops out of it when it gets in the hitting zone.
Astros have now hit home runs in 15 consecutive road games. It's their second home run of the night. Altuve left the yard in the first inning. Josh Reddick hit one yesterday. 0-1. It's upstairs.
See that grip? That's that circle change grip from Felix, but the way he turns it over and creates almost that screwball action to it is what makes it so tough.
And the circle change, when you talk about the circle, you're talking about almost the OK sign that you saw him making with his index finger and his thumb on the side of the baseball, keeping those three fingers on it. Sometimes people think circle. They think the path of the baseball. When you think circle, it's
how they
almost making the OK sign.
It's the grip.
Ball scorched in the left center field gap. And Reddick into second base with a double.
Never say die in these bats for the Houston Astros. And this is what Kevin is talking about as far as that circle change. That's that OK sign, but a lot of emphasis on those two fingers. And what they do is they shove that ball back deep in the hand, and when they let go, they throw it just like a fastball. So if you hold your four seam like this, just get on the side of it, create that circle, and come with the same motion. It just takes enough speed off it. But King Felix, what he does is turns it over.
There it is.
As you see him come through, he turns it over and gets on the inside of the baseball and creates that down and away action.
Altuve to short. A good pick by Valencia at first base. So Reddick is at third. He's reached base now 8 of his last 12 plate appearances. Altuve grounds out. Carlos Correa looking for some 2-out magic. Singled back in the fourth and ended up scoring. Scored on a Marwin Gonzalez RBI single. Astros 3 runs on 7 hits. Mariners 9 runs on 12 hits.
We have not seen too many baseball games like this against the Astros.
The outside edge. 2-0. Six strikeouts for King Felix. He's walked 1. 3 runs on 7 hits for the Astros. 2 balls and a strike. Musgrove finishes tonight 3 2/3 innings.
Would be nice to see a 3-0 count.
Generous inside corner, but 3 2/3 for Musgrove. 9 earned runs on 12 hits. His ERA goes north of 6 after tonight. Struck out 4, walked 1, gave up 3 home runs. Three balls, 1 strike. And McCann waits on deck. Foul back.
The reason he's swinging there 3-1 is he's probably anticipating fastball in. Looking for it, got it, but just kept running on that arm side from Felix. See if he wants to challenge Carlos with another sinker or if he wants to throw that changeup here in a 3-2 count.
Fouled off the right side. It's into the seats.
Well, Felix can turn that changeup into a BP fastball. And what I mean by that is he pitches at 90 to 92. He throws that last changeup at 88 miles an hour. That's just a little bit under what you're anticipating, and you're going to see foul tips. You're going to miss barrels. But he can also pull the string on the changeup and get 86 miles an hour out of it.
Correa hits that one to center right at Gerard Dyson, and that'll retire the side. Seattle leads it 9-3.
We'll get to see Lance McCullers coming off the DL tomorrow. He's the first of a couple of starting pitchers that are working their way back, including Charlie Morton, who's been on the disabled list with a strained lat. Had a rehab assignment yesterday, went well, 2 innings, 36 pitches. He will pitch again in 5 days, guys, likely 4 innings in that next outing. But the goal was just to get him in a game, that first goal. Now that they've done that, it's time to increase the volume and see how he feels. Just get that endurance up as he's making his way back for this Astros team.
That'll be a couple of welcome additions. A good one here in the 5th inning. Mike Zunino, big blow in this game. A 3-run home run that came with 2 outs in the 3rd inning. He's 1 for 2. Oh, ripped to left. Zunino will turn the corner and he'll cruise into second base with a double.
I think we've established that Zunino can hit a fastball, especially one that's right down the middle.
It was the 5th extra base hit of the night for the Seattle Mariners.
So since Zunino's recall on May 22nd, coming into this game, he was hitting .311. He's now got 10 home runs and 6 doubles.
We'll keep you around for a while. Segura fouls that one back.
That's a 93 at bat since coming back from the minor leagues.
Last 25 games, Seattle Mariners are 17-8. During that stretch, they've averaged 6 runs per game. They're not going to hurt that average tonight. McCann not going to throw it. Wild pitch. Zunino gets to third base.
Forgot to mention that The Mariners have had the leadoff man on in every inning so far.
And a leadoff hit in every inning. Sent 9 to bat in the 3rd inning. Scored 6 runs there. Scored 7 men to the plate in the next inning. They scored 2 more. There's a ground out. 1 away.
A.J. Hinch likes playing that infield in. Bregman playing just a couple of steps behind the baseline at third base. Did a good job of keeping that run from scoring. It might be a little bit different situation now that there's 1 out in the inning. Usually as a runner at third base, your third base coach will come over and mention to you with 1 out that you're going on contact. On a ground ball in the infield, force the defense to make the play at home plate. Manny Acta, third base coach for the Mariners.
Gamble struck out in the 1st inning, then singled and scored in the 3rd, and led off the 4th inning with a home run. His 4th home run of the season. He's 2 for 3. A ball and a strike.
Those are the little flashes of brilliance that you're going to see from Gudwan. Good 1-0 slider just in front of that hitting zone, tempting the hitter to get the swing.
Over 31,000 on hand for this one tonight. It's the opener of a 3-game series. 5th game of this 7-game road trip. Gamble extended his hitting streak to 15 games tonight. 2nd time this season he's had a double-digit hitting streak. Infield in. Strike 2.
95 out of that left arm.
I would imagine that is not terribly comfortable at bat, lefty on lefty.
I'm glad I never had to find out.
Correa with the stop. Throws from his knees, and there's 2 away. What a play.
It was a phenomenal play. Gamble's been doing a good job of getting the barrel to baseballs. Did a good job right here, left on left, but Carlos Correa with the infield drawn in snagged that one. Remember what I said about playing at third base to contact? He might have had an opportunity to score on that if he'd have taken off. That would have been a tougher play for Correa to lay out, pop back up, and make that play at home plate. Instead, it turns into a defensive gem.
For a big man, the amount of ground that he can cover. 1 ball and no strikes.
That was a pretty good pitch.
Yes, it was. Robinson Cano 0 for 3.
And by pretty good, I mean a strike. Or more than a strike.
George Springer underneath it. Ball went a mile in the air, and Springer makes the catch. It's 9-3 Seattle.
winner in tonight's Chevy Stroh poll. Thanks for staying up late, watching, and tweeting us and voting in our Stroh poll. We asked you what's your favorite destination in Seattle. Pike Place Market wins at 41%. Go out there and catch a fish, or take one to the chest like I did last year.
Wait a minute.
Do we have
Here it is.
video?
Here it is. Okay, here.
Oh, yeah.
That's well
They found
done.
the clean
Oh,
catch.
yeah. Told you I got that fish.
There were multiple takes on that. We kept seeing the one where poor Julia took a frozen fish to that left shoulder, and it didn't look good.
My collarbone. Took a block of ice straight to the collarbone. Man.
No disabled list for you.
So you got 2 catches under your belt. You're a veteran down there.
I am.
I'm going tomorrow.
You should.
I am.
It's so great.
They have a tour that you go and taste food and stuff like that.
Here
we go.
And, oh, that's going to leave a mark.
Wow.
She's smiling in pain. They had to break it out.
That was the
the one.
actual fish. Well, if you look at the other one, it's like a kind of a
Little,
thawed out,
Yeah.
It was a little
gooey one. A little easier to catch though. That one, solid ice.
yeah, that came in a little hot.
Brian McCann here in the top of the 6th inning in a 9-3 Seattle lead. A high strike call there. Three balls and 2 strikes. Felix Hernandez won the Cy Young Award in 2010. He went 13 and 12. Hit on the ground. Well played by Valencia. He'll take it himself. And there's 1 out. Went 13 and 12 with an ERA of 2.27. That's Cy Young Award winning season. A win tonight, and he will pass Freddie Garcia. He wins this one tonight. It'll be career win number 157. Will make him the winningest Venezuelan pitcher, passing Freddie Garcia, the former Astro farmhand and Seattle Mariner. Freddie Garcia traded to the Mariners in the Randy Johnson deal in 1998. Former teammate of yours.
Yes, he was.
1-0 to Carlos Beltran.
You know what? Freddie was sneaky big. He had those crazy wide, broad shoulders. Some good pitchers have had over the years.
He was really the top pitching prospect in the Astros system when he was traded for Randy Johnson. It was a win-win. Freddie Garcia put together a very good career here for the Mariners.
Carlos Guillen, the shortstop.
Beltran grounded to Cano. Robinson Cano will throw out Carlos Beltran. 2 outs for Marwin Gonzalez in the 6th. Marwin has reached both plate appearances tonight, 1 for 1 with a walk and an RBI single. Drove in Carlos Correa in the 4th inning. Felix, the perfect game in that 1-0 win over Tampa Bay here at Safeco Field. It was in 2012. Philip Umbra, the former Rice Owl, former Houston Astro, threw a perfect game here at Safeco Field as well. 2 balls and no strikes. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Tell you what, Marwin Gonzalez has been animated during this AB, shaking his head on every pitch that comes up there, but that one catches the edge. May want to shrug your shoulders and say maybe.
James Hoyt warming up. It's a breaking ball, 3-1. You know, the disappointing thing about yesterday and the Astros winning that game 12-9 was Dion Diaz, who came in and he really struggled, and it wasn't just a matter of where the score went to. It was the fact that the Astros had to use Michael Feliz. That one hit on the ground. Marwin beat that out on an infield single. He ended up in really what was a blowout game. Had to use Michael Feliz and Chris Davinsky.
No, that was painful. Big lead like that, Dion Diaz, you'd expect him to come in there and finish off that ball game. As you see Marwin get that number off the end of the bat for a knock.
He's 2 for 2 with an RBI. Yuli Gurriel is 0 for 2, and he struck out both at bats. Yeah, Bat Boy's having a tough night tonight. That time he dropped the batting glove halfway down the first base line.
Turned into a yard sale.
What a no. He always got a hitting streak on the line. The bats here in the 6th inning. Extended that hitting streak to 8 games yesterday. Hitting .325 during that streak as well. Astros led 1-0 on Jose Altuve's solo home run in the 1st inning. It has been all Mariners since then. A ball and 2 strikes. Doesn't it seem like Felix Hernandez has been around longer than just 31 years old?
Absolutely. I was shocked to read the notes saying he's 31 years old. He has lost some velocity, but still relatively young.
His 365th career start. Yuli rips that one down the left field line and snagged. And well played by Kyle Seager, robbing him of a 2-base hit as the Astros put out here in the 6th. This went 9-3. Joe Musgrove, rough night for him. 9 earnings and 3 2/3 on 12 hits. Altuve and Bregman have hit homers for the Houston Astros. Zunino, Gamble, and Seager have all dialed long distance for Seattle, while King Felix making his return from the disabled list, a successful one tonight with 6 solid innings for the Seattle Mariners. Nelson Cruz to lead off here in the 6th. 1 for 3, singled and scored in the 3rd. Amin Gudwan delivers that one, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Is that a veteran hitter guessing before that?
That was guessing and facing a guy for the first time. A couple of wrongs making a wrong.
Trying to make a right here as he hits it to right, but Reddick is back and flags it down on the track. Kyle Seager working on a perfect night. He's 2 for 2. He's reached base all 3 times and scored all 3 times. Oh and 1. Astros took 3 out of 4 from the Mariners to start the season. 4-game set to open the season at Minute Maid Park, and then their first road games of the year. They took 2 out of 3 here in Seattle. Trailing big tonight, 9-3. It's 0-2.
Dwan's got a good arm. That 2-strike pitch to Seager was 96 miles an hour, but then you see on that 0-2 pitch, maybe trying to do a little too much, overthrew it.
Foul ball.
Oh. Well, I tell you what, that's Jessica down the right field line now. She switched. Kim went to the left field side, and now Jessica's being tested, and she made the play. This is a rocket down the right field, foul territory, and on the short hop backhand. It's very quality technique.
I didn't even see him make a change.
That's why I'm here.
I was impressed. Umpire never pointed up here and indicated that they were making the double switch.
No, you got to watch. Yeah. There's Kim. Much safer over there with all these left-handed hitters up there. At least they haven't gone to the bullpen. She's still out there.
Gudwan is 25 years old, native of the Dominican Republic. Signed by the Astros in 2009. Two away. Now here comes A.J. Hinch. Well, Gudwan will wrap things up and give way to James Hoyt. We'll take a break. 9-3 Mariners. He goes to the bullpen again, and James Hoyt will come on for his 21st appearance of the season. 1-0 record with a 4.74 ERA.
Came in yesterday in relief of David Paulino through an inning and 2/3, gave up 1 hit, walked a batter, punched out a batter, threw 20 pitches, so back-to-back days for James Hoyt.
Solid effort, too, by Ramin Gouwan. He went 2 innings in this one, and Gouwan had never thrown this season more than 44 pitches. That was a 27-pitch outing tonight for Gouwan. Of course, the 44-pitch outing was in Fresno with the Grizzlies. Mitch Haniger, 1 for 2, singled, walked. An RBI single in the 3rd inning. 6-run 3rd inning for the Mariners. Oh, 0-2. James Hoyt, 30-year-old native of Boise, Idaho. Oh, look at it.
Yikes. You got everybody bailing back there.
Blame them. I'm wondering if Hoyt has some family here tonight. He went to high school in Boise. He had actually did some time in college at Centenary College in Shreveport, but Boise, Idaho is about as close. This is about as close you're going to get as far as being in the big leagues. Strike 3 called. Hoyt takes care of Haniger. We go to the 7th in Seattle.
Top of the 7th and time for Name That Astro. This is brought to you by your local Honda dealer. We give you 3 clues. You tweet us your best guess at Name That Astro. Behind the Dish, debut in 1991, and gold medal winner. Those are your clues. Good luck, everybody. We'll announce the winner later in the broadcast. You got it, Blummer?
I do. You want to tell everybody now and just get it over with?
No.
Come on.
No.
Give you more time to Google it.
A lot of Astro fans on hand for this one. Out and about around the city, saw a lot of Astros orange today. Giovanni Gallardo, who had come out of the bullpen for the first time this season for the Mariners. With 14 starts for the M's, 3-7 with an ERA of 6.30. The reason why he's coming out of the bullpen now. This is his 24th career appearance against Houston.
Former Brewer.
And his numbers 15-5 with a 3.29 ERA in his career against the Astros. I would say mission accomplished tonight on the return of Felix Hernandez. Alex Bregman hit a bomb to dead center field in the 5th inning. Andy Valencia comes over in the first base coach's box, and there's one out here in the top of the 7th inning. (15-5) for Gallardo. Mariners on top 9-3 here in the top of the 7th. George hitting .278 for the season. Single back in the 3rd inning. Struck out in the 5th. He bats in the 7th. Strike called, 1-1. Gallardo went to high school in Fort Worth. And he was a sneaky good pitcher for a long time for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Consistency. Go out there eating up innings.
Foul back. Yeah, perfect example of that is just the numbers you see him against the Astros. It's 23 career starts against Houston. This is the first time he's ever worked out of the bullpen. But he's got 20 decisions in those 23 starts. Tells you that's a guy that pitches deep into ball games. Three balls and 2 strikes. Same 2 teams will go at it tomorrow night. That'll be 70s night here in Seattle. An afternoon game on Sunday. Off day on Monday, and then the A's come to town to Minute Maid Park on Tuesday. A's and Yankees on the next homestand. Astros 27-8 away from Minute Maid Park. This is game number 75. The 3-2.
About 4 pitches in this AB I think George thinks he could have hit out. He is just cutting under him.
He went 3 straight games with home runs before the last 2 games. Obviously, yesterday didn't have much of a choice. He left after getting hit by a pitch to start the game in Oakland. Ball strike 3.
Had to make a pitch right there. Gallardo did. Down and away, a little slider.
That was a good pitch. Two outs in the 7th. There's Josh Reddick. Reddick doubled in the 5th. works ahead 0-1.
Tell you what, that arm side of the plate for Tichenor, the home plate umpire, is a little more open than that glove side. Seen some inside pitches to left-handed hitters not being called, some inside to right-handers, maybe a little expansion over there.
Dyson coming on, he'll have to play it on a hop, and another hit for Josh Reddick. 2 for 4 tonight for Josh Reddick.
Yeah, it's good to see Josh continue to swing the bat. That's a tough pitch. Pitcher's pitch down off the plate on the outside corner. He goes down and gets it off the end of the bat, drops it in front of Dyson for that hit.
He's now reached base 9 of his last 14 plate appearances since coming off the disabled list.
Better remember to hydrate.
Jose Altuve homered in the first inning.
What you got to love about being up here in the great Northwest is 9:38. The sun still is not completely set up here. Pretty wild. Great shot from the boys in the truck.
Oh, and 2.
No sooner than I talk about it, then you get a little bit of that edge expansion.
Goes Reddick, throw down, never going to get him. Josh Reddick with the stolen base, and he's in scoring position for Jose Altuve.
Good hustle from Josh.
4th stolen base this season for Josh Reddick. Ball and 2 strikes. 2-2. It's not been a great road trip for Jose Altuve, but still, and his road batting average has plummeted.
Down to 370,
no, 390.
My bad.
391. It was 416 when the Astros left town. Came on the road. 3-2. Yeah, he's just 2 for 13 on this road trip. Coming into today's game. Foul back.
Seems to have stopped grabbing at that neck.
It's perpetual motion until he gets locked in the box. Mike Zunino will go out and talk to Yovani Gallardo. Is that what that runner at second base?
Could be a little bit of that. I mean, he's taking some good swings on 2-strike pitches. Could also be just a moment to give him a little bit of a breather also.
Three and 2 with 2 outs. Walked him. I don't think Gallardo agreed with that. Scott Service, former Astro. Of course, the manager here of the Seattle Mariners. There's a lot of Astros flavor to this Seattle coaching staff. Tim Bogar is the Mariners bench coach. Former Astros shortstop. Casey Candel. Scott Service was a catcher for the Astros.
Mike Hampton out there in the bullpen.
Yeah, Mike Hampton. Strike one.
Didn't Maniacta either play or manage in the minor leagues?
Minor leagues. That was 94 miles per hour from Giovanni Gallardo. Oh, and 2. So Correa looking back as well. Gallardo was looking in on ball 4 to Altuve. Correa not happy either. Gallardo will throw him out. That'll retire the side. The Astros leave 2. Mariners lead the game 9-3.
And time to name that Astro, brought to you by your local Honda dealer. Your clues are behind the dish. Debut in '91 and a gold medal winner. It's the skipper of the Mariners, Scott Service. And guys, before I toss it up to you, I've been to that office and heard his media availabilities every day, and I always have to look. There's a great, it looks like it's a picture that's turned into a painting of him and Darryl Kyle after the no-hitter in '93, and they're hugging. It's such a great photo, but it's colorful, it's bright, it's huge, and it's in his manager's office right here in Seattle.
That is pretty cool.
Yep. He looks on, and his team is playing good baseball. It has been a long trek to getting to the 500 mark, and now over 500. Strike one from James Hoyt, his second inning of work, as he faces Danny Valencia here in the 7th inning. Mariners have dealt with tons of injuries. There's a base hit to left. That is a 4-hit night for Danny Valencia. Do you remember how many 4-hit games you had?
I should, because there weren't that many.
Well, I wouldn't think anybody had very many. Since the start of last year.
But Altuve's got like 38 of them.
No, he's got 9.
Oh, that's it.
But 8 have come on the road.
It's pretty good.
Not going to have one tonight. Danny Valencia, though, does have a 4-hit game. Gerard Dyson, 1 for 3. An RBI double in the 2nd inning. Good pitch there. Makes it 2 balls and a strike.
Saw Dyson punch out on a fastball out there. He doesn't like it out there. He likes to get around the pitch and try and yank that into right field.
Well, the Astros going to win this one. They're going to have to take care of business in a hurry, running out of outs, trailing 9-3. But they had an opportunity tonight. They would have picked up their 51st win. Pitch to Dyson, and a swing and a miss. 2-2. They could have gotten that 51st win tonight. In the wild card era, they would have joined the 95 Indians, the 98 Yankees, 2001 Mariners, White Sox of 05, and the 2015 St. Louis Cardinals. Not very many teams to win 51 of their first 75. Reddick slides and keeps that one from going to the wall, but it's a 2-base hit for Jarrod Dyson. Runners at second and third. The second double of the night for Jarrod Dyson.
Saw him swing and miss on a breaking ball away. This one comes right back to him, down and in. Rakes into that right field corner.
That is the 15th hit of the night for the Mariners. There's at second and third with nobody out here in the 7th. A 2-out, 3-run home run by Mike Zunino. That was a near deal breaker there in that 3rd inning.
Chance for Kim. Oh, the chair got in the way. It's all right, not her fault. She has no idea, does she?
No, no way.
Be out tomorrow with my fungo, and we'll have some early work.
A ball and 2 strikes. Two and two. Astros keeping that infield in on the grass. 3 runs on 9 hits for Houston. 9 runs on 15 hits tonight for the Seattle Mariners. There's a wild pitch. That's going to score 1. Watch out. Here comes Jarrod Dyson. He's safe. Scores from second base on a wild pitch. It's 11-3 Mariners.
It's only fitting that I say this up here in Seattle. When it rains, it pours. A couple of horribly located pitches from James Hoyt. The fastball before it misses by a mile, and this one thrown into the other batter's box. McCann does everything he can, but cannot locate it. James Hoyt unable to get there in time. And the speed of Jarrod Dyson turns it into a 2-base wild pitch.
Great slide, too. popped up on the infield. And Gurriel records the first out of the inning. Here's Gene Segura. Leadoff man got a hit in the first 5 innings of this game for the Seattle Mariners. They went 1-2-3 in the 6th, and now 2 runs in with just 1 out. 2 runs came in before they recorded an out. Segura swings through that one. To center. Springer lays out off his glove. And Segura will go into second base.
That was not a very good hustle. Sorry to interrupt you, Kevin, but I was just shocked that the ball was at the wall and Gene Segura just casually jogging into second base. Promptly gets himself a pinch runner. I'm not sure if that's due to the fact that he's not running.
He was on the disabled list with the ankle pop. Look at the effort by George Springer in and out of the glove.
Yeah, he had a long way to go on a bullet off the bat of Segura. We've become so accustomed to seeing George make these plays.
Second double of the inning, 3rd hit of the inning. Well, George Springer did all he could do. Gamble's 2 for 4. 15-game hitting streak. Taylor Motter comes in to run for Segura. Well, during this stretch, going 18-7 in those 25 games, 6 runs per game. Seattle hitting as a team over 300. Some pretty gaudy numbers are going to get even bigger tonight. A ball and 2 strikes. Front of the plate. McCann guns him down, but Motter moves to third base. Robinson Cano will bat for the 5th time. I told you that the Mariners were going to have 16 hits tonight, and everyone was going to have one but one player. Robbie Cano probably wouldn't have been the guy you would have picked.
Not usually.
Two home runs, 6 runs batted in last night. He's 0 for 4. Tony Sipp warms up in the Astros bullpen. AJ going through these guys right now and saying, everybody give me an inning. It all started with Joe Musgrove going just 3 2/3. Gave up 9 earned runs on 12 hits. Ramin Gudwan came in. He pitched 2 innings. Struck out 1, gave up a hit.
A good 2 innings.
Solid, very solid. James Hoyt off McCann. Go to the plate. 12-3. It is the 3rd run of the inning that is scored on a wild pitch.
Tell you what, we've seen 74 good ones from the Astros. This is one bad one we've seen. Wheels have come off in this one. Brian McCann trying to take it out on Taylor Motter.
There's a 1-2 to Cano. Bounces it in.
The other game they gave up 12 was a loss to Anaheim.
Can't remember that game. Guess I purged it from my memory.
You just don't see them all that often. You've seen way too much winning from this Astros team.
You would have thought it would be real memorable because as good as they've been, but it was a 12-6 loss at Minute Maid Park. And Cano is now 0 for 5. It's 12-3 Mariners.
Downtown Seattle. The Astros will return to Minute Maid Park on Tuesday for a 6-game homestand as they take on the Oakland A's and New York Yankees. Tickets are still available for next week's game, so don't miss out. Visit astros.com/tickets or call 1-877-9-ASTROS.
Best team in baseball. You got a chance to see them right at Minute Maid. 6-game homestand starting with 3 against the A's on Tuesday. Strike 1 to Brian McCann. Isn't that a beautiful shot of Seattle, Washington?
Yes.
On the ground. Right at Motter, who just checked into the game. He throws across, and there's 1 away. Beg your pardon, that's Kyle Seager. It's 5-3 on the putout. Yes, that was the third baseman making the play right there.
Yeah, Brian McCann has seen the shift for the last 2 years of his life in Major League Baseball. Therefore, that third baseman playing a shortstop.
Beltran. Look at this.
You look at
this
it.
This is the absolute. I mean, it's a beautiful city. Beautiful city this time of year. Perfect time to be here.
Depends on who you ask. Some guys in that gray uniform might be arguing with you.
Not just tonight.
That's why you play every day. Chance to redeem yourself.
Swings through that one.
I think our camera guys have given up on the game. Just getting scenics for their demo reel.
For Astro fans, this is much better looking than the game has been tonight, that's for sure. 12-3. Carlos Beltran. That one in the corner. Go around first base and head into second with his second double of the night for Carlos Beltran.
Just keep climbing those all-time lists.
Another extra base hit. Chasing Eddie Murray for the most extra base hits among switch hitters. You know, I know it's just an at-bat in a 12-3 game, but to get that guy locked in that middle of the order, I mean, there's not any breaks, but you can get his bat going. He's got 2 hits tonight. See him get on a tear. Marwin's got 2 hits as well. Two for 2 night. Walk in his first plate appearance. 320 is his batting average. Felix Hernandez started tonight for the Seattle Mariners. He had been 0-4 in his last 4 starts against Houston with an ERA over 11. Solid effort tonight for the veteran coming off the disabled list. Strike 2. Astros started play tonight with a 12-game lead in the American League West. At 12 and a half.
So you're saying, as ugly as this game is, it's not entirely ugly?
Well, let's face it, the margin for error is certainly pretty wide right now for the Astros. It's a 4-3 put out, and Marwin Gonzalez retired for the first time tonight.
I just saw something severely entertaining on my notes. Going through some of the stat packs that we have. I'm looking through the relievers. Giovanni Gallardo's not listed on there because, like you said, he's been starting a ton of games. But there is one Carlos Ruiz listed in the relievers for the Seattle Mariners. Carlos Ruiz is the backup catcher. He only has one pitch. It's a fastball. It's averaging 80.4 miles an hour on the season. How many games do you have to pitch as a position player to show up on the scouting report in the relievers? That's impressive.
Guilty.
In case you're wondering what I do in some of these games, just scour the notes for interesting notes like that. Now I have to go and see
1-1.
how many innings he's pitched this year.
Both digging in right now.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Well, he's made 1 appearance and he threw 1 inning. I wish I had better news for you.
Must have been enough pitches to get tracked.
That one gets away, and Beltran, though, he'll stay at third.
May even have a punch out Would you like to be that guy?
He walked 2. And he struck out 1.
It's not a good ratio. But you can't fault the guy for going out there and trying. So he's pitched 1 game. He's 38 years old. Only inning he's ever pitched in his baseball career.
Andy Valencia reaches up, makes the play, and that'll do it for the Astros here in the 8th. Southwest, yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. It is Astros After Dark. Public market here in Seattle, Washington, 12-3. Seattle Mariners on top. Go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It'll be Nelson Cruz leading it off. 6-run third tonight for the Seattle Mariners. Could very well seal the deal here for this one. As Tony Sipp comes on to work tonight for the 25th game of the season. No record with an ERA of 4.50. Sipp becomes the 4th pitcher of the night. Ball 1. Two and 0. Joe Musgrove started. Ramin Gudwan came in relief. James Hoyt relieved him. And now it is Tony Sipp, 4th pitcher. Two and 1. Lance McCullers makes his return from the disabled list tomorrow. That is good news. Great news. Interesting to hear what AJ has to say as far as what they will expect from Lance McCullers tomorrow. Obviously, it's been a bullpen that's been taxed tonight. Juan, Hoyt, and now Tony Sipp have been working out of that pen, and there's a leadoff walk. So Lance McCullers Jr. Tyler was pitching very, very well when he went on the disabled list.
Yes, he was pitching to contact. The strikeout rate gone down a little bit, but he was getting deeper in ball games. It'll be interesting to see, or maybe hear, what A.J. Hinch has for Lance McCullers as far as pitch count is concerned. But other than that, it's going to be great to see him out there.
That's for sure. If first start for Lance since June 8th. That was at Kansas City. 6-1 with a 2.58 ERA. Think they're talking about curveballs?
Good chance.
Cruz walks. Now it is Kyle Seager. 2 for 3. Each base, his first 3 plate appearances. Hit by a pitch and scored in the 3rd after singling in the 2nd. Hit a blast in the 4th. The 2-1. 3 balls and a strike. Tony Sipp last pitched on Wednesday night, retired the only batter he faced in that game. Looking for him to get through the 8th inning here. It's 3-2. And Tony Sipp walks the first 2 batters he faces here in the 8th inning. That was not the plan.
No, it's a painful game to begin with. Guys getting beat around, and then Tony Sipp coming in and walking the first 2 batters he sees is not what A.J. Hinch is looking for.
Pitch Haniger. First pitch swinging. Fouls this one away. Haniger's got to be thinking he's just walked the first 2 men he's facing. He's going to lay something in there for me to get a good swing. Be ready to swing 0-0. Drove in a run on an RBI single in the 3rd. He walked in the 4th. A ball and a strike. Astros started the road trip sweeping 4 at Oakland. In trouble here in this opener of a 3-game series in Seattle, trailing 12-3. Ball and 2 strikes.
How about the show tar on the bat? It's a little too much effort. Used to love it when guys would lube that thing up, get it all nice and shiny, make it look pretty, go out there and just proceed to get blown up, shatter the bat into a million pieces. All
2
that
balls
work.
and 2 strikes. Remember, I did a The story with Sean Berry back in the Astrodome days. Got to go back a ways for that.
He was a hitting coach when I came back here to Houston.
It's fascinating, though, talking about the different types of bats. I know this is no surprise to you, but all the different thought processes that go into it. There's a ball up the middle. Correa, he'll flip to Altuve, but they can't turn the double play. And Nelson Cruz will score to make it 13-3.
A little too much mustard on that hot dog.
So Haniger reaches on the fielder's choice. And Cruz will score on an E4.
Good job by Carlos Correa.
See, I kind of double clutched. I think he lost the ball in the glove a little bit.
Again, if he planted his feet at the base, caught it, made the transfer, might be a little bit different story, but didn't happen that way.
Danny Valencia. 4-hit night for Valencia. He's raised his batting average 12 points tonight. Went from a 262 hitter to a 274 hitter.
I apologize if I don't share in the excitement.
Oh, man. It's 13-3. Respect that effort.
You know what's been great about being up here and having the interaction with the fans, and you know, there's been a couple times where the scorebook has been good enough for the Astros where I've shown it to people and I've been asked to tweet out pictures and that, but it's been great to see the interaction between fans that do keep score. I've actually gotten quite a few responses of people tweeting me pictures back of their scorecards. We've had some shots in the stands like you just saw of people keeping score. I think it's great. Honest to goodness truth.
There have been times when, because I keep score at every game, pre-game show or play-by-play, whatever the case may be. There's a little number back of the mound. 1-4, and he's safe at first base. So Valencia reaches on the fielder's choice.
Good play by Tony, and you can see Altuve maybe a little more emphasis on that throw, trying to get it. MLB.com at bat is your #1 mobile app for live Astros baseball. Stay connected with a fully customizable experience. Get Astros home screen icons and app features, as well as game day, live game video highlights, news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat today.
So when the team is on the road, you know, I'm in the studio and keeping score by watching the game on TV. But on a night that I might have off and I'll be watching an Astros game, it is an absolute response that when something happens in the game, how many times I will look down to write down in my book.
There's no ready to track everything.
There's no scorebook in front of me. But
one thing baseball will turn you into if you're a fan or if you work in the game of baseball is routine. When you do something 162 days out of 180, it becomes routine.
Next year, the season, if I'm not mistaken, is going to start a little bit earlier. It'll add in, is it 4?
I think it's 4 extra days off.
How nice will that be?
It will be nice.
Dyson right at Gurriel. Have to hurry over. And the 3-1 put out retires the side. Mariners out here in the 8th. We go to the 9th. Astros down by 10.
brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. We're going to give it to King Felix. The Astros have put up great numbers against him in the previous 4 starts, but he came out today fresh off the DL with that shoulder issue and pitched incredibly well. See him going 6 innings, 6 punch-outs. The Astros still got him for 8 hits and 3 runs, but he also threw 96 pitches, and he is now qualified to become the all-time winningest pitcher in Venezuelan history. He will be passing Freddie Garcia with this win.
On his way to career win number 157. Bregman in the air to shallow center field. Cano going out. Dyson coming in, and Cano makes the play. One out in the 9th. Games like this have been few and far between for the Astros. George Springer, the leadoff man. That's against Giovanni Gallardo. Tonight, the 15th consecutive road game that the Astros have hit a home run. Wasn't nearly enough, though.
See George getting frustrated with himself. He's had some pitches, especially after that first AB when he flew out to deep left field to drive, and he's just missing them. That will drive you crazy. You feel good in the box. Swing feels right. The timing is good. Just not getting it the way you want it.
Gallardo working out of the bullpen for the first time this season to make it 14 starts for the Mariners. Springer 1 for 4, single in the 3rd. Come back. 2 outs in the 9th. Josh Reddick, last man standing tonight for the Astros. With 2 outs in the 9th. Crowd of 31,783 come to its feet. 1 ball and no strikes. You know, the crazy thing, we look at all these numbers and try to put them in perspective and in relations to other numbers. And the fact that the Astros here in June, on June 23rd, now June 24th back in Houston, still have just 8 losses on the road. That ball hit high and deep to right, but not deep enough, and that'll do it. Mariners get a 6-run 3rd inning, and they cruise to a 13-3 victory. Felix Hernandez gets the win. Joe Musgrove the loss. And the Mariners win the opener of this 3-game series. Back with more in a moment.